Westlaw Next is the library's database for legal materials. As you can see, it looks very different from our other databases that you might be used to searching, like Academic Search Complete. This video will give you some quick tips on how to get started with Westlaw Next and to get the results you need. As you can see below the search box, it lists the different kinds of content that are in Westlaw. While our other databases have mostly or exclusively articles, you see here that this database also has court cases, laws, legislation that's in progress, as well as articles. That's what they mean by secondary sources. But we're just going to start by putting in a simple search for a keyword, like healthcare. Before we click search, let's get our keyword in the box here. Before we click search, I just want to draw your attention to this drop down here to the right of the search box. You can see right now it says all federal. So by default it's searching federal materials, federal laws, Supreme Court cases, and so on. But you can also click this to select specific states or courts. We'll take a look at what this does a little later, but I just wanted to point this out to you right now. So we'll leave it on all federal for now and click search. Okay, here are your results. First, it gives you something called overview, which means they've picked out the top 1 or 2 results for each of the types of resources in this database. So you see here we have 2 court cases, a statute, a regulation, some secondary sources, briefs, and on down the list. But you can use these limiters over here on the left to just show what kind of materials you want. So if you want to see what bills are before Congress related to healthcare, you can click on Proposed and Enacted Legislation. So now we're seeing just bills, essentially. So you can click on the title, the public law number, to see the full text of the bill. And you can see as we scroll down that our search term, healthcare, is highlighted in yellow, so you can see where that shows up in the bill, which is good since they're pretty long documents. Let's go back. Looking over our other source types over here on the left, I just want to draw your attention to secondary sources. Secondary sources are law review articles, which are articles that are written by law students about legal and policy issues. It's good to see the original law or bill, but it's also sometimes helpful to read someone's discussion of it. So that's what you're going to find in this tab here. Let's go back to our drop-down and see what happens if you only wanted to look at New York State laws or legislation. So we're going to uncheck all federal and check New York. Click Save. Okay, and now we're going to run our search again. Click Search. Okay, so again, you get the overview and it's got a few of each different type on your main search page, but you can also limit it down. And these are just New York State materials now. All right, what if you wanted to look up the text of a specific court case? Westlaw Next can do that too pretty easily. Just type it into the search box up here. Let's do a Supreme Court case that everybody remembers from high school, Brown versus Board of Ed. We will type it in. And it doesn't matter if you use V or VS for versus, and you can even abbreviate Board of Education, and Westlaw will figure it out. Let's change this back to federal, since this is a Supreme Court case that we want. And click Search. Okay, so what I want you to see now is this little yellow flag. That means that it's important. A lot of times when you search the parties in a court case, your results show all the cases as it worked its way through the different courts and the appeals process and so on. But this little yellow flag means that this is the main Supreme Court case and probably is the one you want to look at. This database is generally pretty good at figuring out what it is that you want. So that's a really handy feature. And again, you can click on the title to look at the whole thing. All right. So those are some quick tips to get you started, but the librarians are happy to help you with this. If you have questions, you can call the reference desk, which is 607-746-4644, or you can email library@delhi.edu.